Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Miss KK and this is The Wave. It is your weekly show that looks at topics related to personal, family and business finances, and our hope is that by the time you get to the end of this series, you are really better equipped to make sound financial decisions. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate having you on board. Please consider subscribing, and if you're already a returning subscriber, an awesome appreciation to you guys for being part of this amazing community. This is the second video of the day. Like I've mentioned, I'll always be doing 2 videos per day because it's cost effective from a data uploading perspective, and if we are all here to save money, why not do that? Okay. And I am busy again with my magazine today, the entrepreneurship version of October 2015, a magazine I saved from a heap of magazine I was throwing away, simply because it really has a few articles that I never looked at because they were not relevant at that point in time. In 2015, I was just starting off to work. I wasn't really too knowledgeable about this financial, literacy issues. I learned a lot over my working career, and I'm so glad I kept this magazine because it has value adding information. So in the earlier video that I did an article about money management strategies. Today I'm going to do something that is very topical that I think we all ought to learn a thing or two, which is side businesses or side hustle. So basically it's a term used to someone running a business when they already have an 8 to 5 job that nearly takes up 40% or not 40%, 40 hours of their time a week, and they are supposed to structure their additional business around that job. And for a lot of us, it's been picking up a lot of momentum of late because life is expensive and people are looking for additional income to supplement their lifestyle, or basically people that are looking to become entrepreneurship one day, but they don't have the means to actually quit their job right now to be able to focus on that business fully. So they're doing it on a part-time basis after their 8 to 5 job. So this article, like the previous video that I did, it's not my tips. I'm going to give the author the credit for this. It is written by Brendan Turner, and Brendan Turner is actually described here as a real estate entrepreneur and author of the book Investing in Real Estate with No and Low Money Down. Actually, I haven't picked up any of his books. I'm going to try and see if I can get hold of his books because real estate is an industry that I'm interested in, and it's actually an industry that I want to learn in. And just while we are at that, I just want to quickly go back to that article and see if they actually gave a biography of what J.D. Roth does. And here they said J.D. Roth is the founder and editor of the personal finance blog, and it's called Your Money, the Missing Manual. So technically, I'm actually going to look for J.D. Roth and his blog if it still exists, and I'm going to learn a lot from it because based on this article, it really has great information. I'm sure on his blog, there's quite a lot of information there. It's called Your Money, the Missing Journal by J.D. Roth. He runs a personal finance blog. And Brendan Turner is actually an entrepreneur and also an author of Investing in Real Estate with No Money. Okay. So let's get right into today's discussion, which is The Business on the Side by Brendan Turner, and he writes it on the premise of how can you work on that brilliant idea without quitting your job. So he basically listened to a podcast where a successful entrepreneur was telling people to quit their job in order for them to be able to focus on their idea, and he actually disagreed with that advice, which I also equally disagree with that advice, because not all of us have the privilege to be able to start a business on the side without any income. So basically he offers us how can we practically build that business on the side while we still have the 8 to 5 job. Number one, he says, think of your job as a blessing. I'm going to read a few of what he says here. He says, your job is not dead weight holding you back. Your job is the fuel that will keep your entrepreneurship dreams alive while you are building your side project. So you basically say, for a lot of us, we use our paycheck, our monthly paycheck, as capital. So let's think of this job as nearly the shareholder that is constantly pumping in money in this business for us to be able to expand. You need that, let's just say for example, in my case, I'm running this YouTube channel and I need to buy myself an iPhone that has a good quality camera for me to be able to film this video. Without my job, I wouldn't have enough money to raise 26,000 to be able to buy myself an iPhone 12 to be able to be filming this video as I wanted. So think of your job as a blessing to help you raise the capital for you to be able to start this side hustle. So maybe for you it's not buying the phone, maybe for you it's actually ordering your stock. You need money to order stock, and that is how you actually pick up momentum. And for a lot of people, you actually want to run a side business with your own money because it takes away some stress from managing. So that's why you find the people that have their order with me on 50% deposit, they generally are more stressed, because if there's a delay and customer orders are not delivered on time, then the customer start thinking you are a scam. But if you could have just taken 50% of your salary, invest that, buy stock, and customer actually buy their orders on cash, you could be growing your business faster. So think of your job as a blessing, a shareholder that is willing to pump in money month in, month out, and it's only up to you to now utilize that money efficiently. Number 2 says maximize your time. For a lot of us, we are actually complaining, no, my job takes up 40 hours a week, I don't have enough time. But he actually thinks that is crap, because there are about 168 hours in a week. 40 of that goes to your job, 56 is going to sleep, and then you still have 72 hours left to run your side business. So he's basically asking you, what do you do with the 56 hours that are actually 72 hours that are available? Do you perhaps watch Netflix? Are you there reading magazines? Or what exactly are you doing? So prioritize your hours so that you make the most out of your hours. Maybe it will mean actually waking up a little bit earlier so that you can film that video, or it means that on the weekend giving up TV time so that you can actually edit your video to upload, or between 8 to 10, instead of you actually sitting there making yourself a decent meal, but it's actually you creating your social media advert. Do whatever you need to do, but make sure that you're actually making the most out of the time that matters most. So your job only takes up 40, you actually have more time to work on your personal business than actually on your job. That's just a reminder from him. The third tip that he offers us here is for us to focus on daily imperative action. Then he says that gone are the days where you need to lock yourself in a room for a month to work on that business idea, and boom, you have a successful business idea. He says that's not how successful business are built anymore. He says instead, successful business are built on consistent imperative action taken daily. So you need to take a conscious decision, an intentional decision, that every single day I'm going to take a good action that is going to lead me towards that result. So for example, personally, I like using my example. So personally, I'd like to grow my Instagram fan base to 10,000. For me to build my base to 10,000, I need to be able to interact with my fans on a daily basis, my followers on a daily basis. I need to feed my followers with content that they would like to see. I need to make sure that I'm updating my stories on a regular basis for me to be able to pick up those followers. But if I'm just on Facebook, on Instagram, scrolling, reading other people's things, but actually not building my own fan base, I'm not going to get anywhere. So he's saying being busy doesn't equate imperative action. You need to do what matters most, already recognizing the fact that you have limited time. So make the most use of that time. The fourth tip that he offers out here is to outsource what you can. Outsource is basically giving someone the task to do something you could have done yourself. So basically he says, what can you do that no one else can do? You must only be doing what you can do. For example, I am doing blogging and filming videos on YouTube. The one thing that I need to do myself is actually the video to present, to transmit the knowledge, because I am the only person that can do that, because that's my specialty. But I may need a thumbnail for my video, I may need a poster to advertise that. So I can actually, instead of me wasting 6 hours on Canva trying to come up with a poster to advertise my next video, I can outsource that. So he basically says you already have limited time, you already have you already need to take imperative action. You don't have to be busy doing things that don't matter most. So outsource what you don't need to do, and then do what only you can do. Don't now go and outsource. Like, I can't now go and outsource teaching, because teaching is what I'm actually trying to do, and I want to be the face of that voice, and I want to be the face of that knowledge. So he's basically saying, recognize that thing that only you can do in your business, and the rest that are actually keeping you busy, get that to be done by someone else. And finally, he says, use your job as fuel. He says here that, in other words, peak performance is predicted on intense reason to perform. You need to find a reason. Why do you want this business to succeed? Do you perhaps hate your job? Use that fuel to make sure that you get that income level that you want, that will enable you to quit your job. Do you maybe get pissed at the fact that your alarm needs to go off every single morning and you need to get out of bed when you actually don't feel like doing it? Then use that as a reason so that you can own your successful business, and you can actually work on flexible working hours, and you can wake up at whatever time you want to wake up. And he says, like, you've maybe hit a mental block, use that to fuel your energy to actually run your business. So he's basically saying your job must serve as a reminder, a constant reminder why you need this business idea to work, so that it can translate from being a side hustle to being your main business, to be able to provide for you and your needs, so that you can be able to retire or quit your 8 to 5 job. So basically that's all I had today from this discussion. Very relevant. And with this, I'm going to conclude that I did a business series that actually has low views on why a lot of businesses are failing. Yes, all of us are now getting into the side hustle because there's a need for us to get additional income, but most of us are actually not equipped to run this business. So do check out those videos so that you can also learn what it takes to run a successful business, so that you're not wasting your time doing something that is actually making you a loss. Thank you so much again for giving us your time, and until next time, it is goodbye, and please don't forget to subscribe.